Okay, welcome everybody to the regular meeting of the Pickleweed Advisory Committee of February 5th, 2025. The time is 7:04 p.m. And we have a special treat. We have Jinder, who's filling in for Becky tonight. He's the administrative analyst at the library, and he will conduct our formal roll call this morning, or this evening. Jinder.
Hey, good evening. Sergio Campos.
Present.
Maidong Nguyen.
Present.
Darlene Ruiz.
Absent.
Kate Sprague.
Present.
Janet Tenches.
Present.
Rosa Vasquez.
Present.
Louise Yost.
Yes.
Andre Pasternak.
Yes.
Thank you.
And for the record, Jinder, Maidong is alternate, but she will be an active voter this evening.
Okay.
Okay, does anybody have any amendments to the agenda for tonight? Okay, seeing none, we'll move on to the first item, and that's our minutes. Approval of the regular meeting minutes of September 11th, 2024. Does anybody have any questions or comments regarding the minutes?
No.
If not, if we can have a motion and a second to approve them, please.
Move to approve the previous month's minutes.
I'll second.
Okay. So motion by Kate Sprague, and then Janet seconded the motion. Jinder. And if we can do a vote, please, roll call.
All right. Sergio Campos.
Present. You agree? We agreed for the vote on the minutes. I agree.
Maidong Nguyen.
I'm sorry, I'm missing, but
You can still vote.
yeah, I agree.
Agree?
Darlene Ruiz.
Absent?
Kate Sprague.
Yes.
Janet Tenches.
Yep.
Rosa Vasquez.
Yes.
Louise Yost.
Yes.
Thank
Okay, item 2, the meeting open to the public. As you are a guest, do you have anything to address other than what your item on the agenda is? No? No? Do your son have anything?
I don't think so.
Okay. All right, we'll close the public comment and we'll go to matters before the committee. So item 3, co-sponsorship applications. A is the Marin YMCA for the YMCA summer camp at Albert J. Boral Community Center. It is recommended that the Pickleweed Advisory Committee grant the YMCA a fee reduction or waiver for use of the rooms necessary to conduct a summer camp program for canal children at the Albert J. Boral Community Center at Pickleweed Park, Monday through Friday, June 23rd to July 25th, 2025, closed for the 4th of July holiday, with permission for staff to grant additional space on a day-to-day basis depending on availability. Since 2021, we have co-sponsored the YMCA and Santa Fe City School Partnership to offer needed summer camp program for canal youth. The proposed program will serve up to 70 children identified by the school. The applicant requests use of many of the center's rooms and amenities. As was done in the past to accommodate other programming in the facility, staff recommends granting the YMCA enough to successfully base daily activities. Should the committee agree, additional rooms, primarily the gymnasium, could then be granted on a daily space available basis. Generally, the activity fits well in the center's schedule and is very much needed in the community. The nonprofit value of a full co-sponsorship totals $24,657 while still retaining space for other programs. A fee reduction or waiver to either of our proposals this evening would potentially result in lost revenue to the city should a paying program be interested in renting the facility at that time. The YMCA has agreed to reimburse the city for the facility attendant fee of $32 an hour for opening the center an hour early each morning, totaling $736 for the summer. Bethel, who's the director of the youth development for the Santa Fe Marin branch of the YMCA, is here tonight to support their application. Bethel, I'll turn it over to you. I'm going to shut the door.
Sorry guys, I'm trying to share my screen and it is sharing, but it is not playing.
I think you go to the bottom for slideshow.
Usually it's right here that I press. Okay, there we
Okay.
go. There we go. So sorry about that. Hi, my name is Bethel. I've seen some of your faces before, but not everyone. As Steve mentioned, I'm the director of youth development, so I oversee Alpero, after school and summer, and then also Sun Valley after school and summer as well. So it's been a joy to do both sides. I'm not gonna pick favorites, but I'll just say but, and hopefully you guys know what I mean. So kind of to take you through what summer camp looks like and how the whole process kind of goes. So in partnership with San Rafael School City Districts, I work closely with Mike Taylor. I don't know if some of you know him. He's really helpful in kind of making sure that we get all kids who are interested in one way or another. We do really, we stick to the two schools, Bahia Vista and San Pedro, but if there's any kids that really do want to go to summer camp, we make exceptions for any child from any school district, not school district, but any school within the school district of San Rafael as well. Some of our other partnerships that we have is with Catholic Charities, which is a cooking and nutrition class with Chef Jerry. And we do also collaborate with VACR, another after school and summer camp program. So we like to do things together. Some of the kids kind of already know each other. They can be related to each other. So just kind of bringing the community together and not being so kind of, this is the Y and this is VACR. So we're really working closely on trying to do something together. The breakdown of how many students we have is 70. That's our cap that we have here. So it's usually Bahia Vista 36 and Pedro 34. That number can alternate, but to just, we make sure that, you know, even if we're at 69, we try to get that extra one person because we do want to take advantage of the space that we have with 9 staff total to make sure that we're meeting ratio needs for safety reasons, obviously making sure that the kids have ample, you know, opportunities to like talk to the staff if they need, and they're being watched carefully and all those things. So the enrollment process is usually made by the school principals, but if there's liaisons or family come to us and they're saying they're interested, we still will work with them as well. But there is kind of requirements to fit to apply for you know, a spot at after school or summer camp, which is some of those right there. So they don't have to have all of them, obviously, but these are the things that the district kind of make sure that we're paying attention to as we're, you know, letting any students in. There is a Google form that is in Spanish and English for all parents to kind of take a look at and fill out. And then we determine based on, you know, how many of these requirements they have, and which ones are obviously important and really need to get into a program. So that's kind of like what we will take a look at before we enroll them. That's our daily camp schedule to kind of give you an idea of kind of the rundown of the day. We do start at 8 and we end at 5:30. Some of the things that we do are like weekly themes and field trips. So like for Super Scientist Week, we went to Cal Academy of Sciences. For All About the Animals, we went to SF Zoo. So we try to make sure that it kind of aligns and there's a theme and they're learning as they're, you know, coming to us. Another thing that we do as well, as I mentioned, is the cooking classes and swimming and field trips are once a week. So that's been really like fun for the kids, especially the cooking and nutrition class. They really love it and they get to learn something new and try new foods. So that's been really exciting. Any questions before I move on? So some pictures from last year, I have updated it. So we do go swimming every week at the Novato High School right now since Tara Linda's in construction. So we've been going to Novato, and then some of the field trips also that we went to, and kids really enjoy it and have a lot of fun and learn. some of the kids have been with us for so many years that they're like, hey, we've been here already. And I'm like, I'm sorry, you're gonna probably have to go to the Cal Academy another year. But they still do enjoy it. And we do try to have kind of, when we're playing sports, kind of organized sports, teaching them about new sports that maybe they're not like super interested in, but just kind of getting them involved is really important. For Nature Day, we did go to the park, and then for we did go mini golfing, but we have like visited some of the areas around here, so they know, and maybe tell their parents like, hey, let's go back to this one place that we went as well. So that's been really fun. And also projects have been, something that we do year round, but they still really enjoy it. Some of the outcomes that we are striving to build is enrichment and skill building, community building, and socio-emotional learning. I also am a part of the mental health service team in the YMCA. So it's been really, it's been a really good thing for me to kind of be in that team and support the staff here, if anything kind of behavioral challenges kind of come, we know how to kind of deal with it in a more educated and informed way. That's something I feel like has been missing a little bit. And so now we also can offer resources and kind of be the linkage if like any family was really interested in therapy, or families were interested in, maybe resources that the school can't provide, we can help them. We can help link them to either the mental health service team in San Francisco, or even just kind of help walk them through what insurance and kind of that. So that's been really like a new thing that we're still continuing to work on, but definitely has helps out. Progress and quality. To uphold our commitment to continuous growth, we conduct parent surveys and program assessments. The program assessments are made by either me or my supervisor to kind of come in, really take a look at how the program is running, how the quality of the program is. And I think that's been very helpful to kind of see how we can, provide more. And also the parent surveys where they're able to be honest with us and say, hey, maybe this is, maybe let's focus on this more, or my child really likes this, or this is something that we can kind of start. So I think that's been really helpful as well to kind of grow. And that is all.
Thank you. All right. Does anybody have any questions for Bethel regarding her proposal, the program? I had one that,
Sounds great.
did I read it correctly? The survey results look like only one person from here completed the survey?
We did, yeah, there was one from here. We have also another one that from the district that we had about 4 complete. And I think something that we're continuously working on is like, how do we get the parents to fill it out and feel comfortable? I think a lot of the times the feedback we get is in person, and it's kind of day of, or, after maybe something happened and they're letting us know like, okay, maybe let's try this. But, this is like feedback that they have. But again, that's kind of something that don't want to say we're struggling to get, but parents do feel really comfortable with the staff here. They've been here for a while, and with Anai as well, who's the site coordinator who makes this program what it is. And I think for some of the parents, it is the day of kind of thing that we get. And when we have something, whether we've tried electronically doing, anonymous surveys, we've also tried, pieces of paper that we've written down, like, hey, these are the things, do you want to give us any feedback? And it has been challenging, but we're going to continue. I think for us, it's one of the things that we do as well is like, let's say, for instance, a kid is having trouble, it's a behavioral issue. We're also talking to the school day staff or their teachers and having meetings with parents and teachers together with like a YMCA, like with Anai. So I think that's been really helpful to kind of see, if there's something that's happening at the Y that we can kind of figure out and make better, or if that's something that's happening at school. But yeah, I mean, the surveys have been difficult to get a lot of feedback on it.
Do you have the surveys in different languages or just English?
But no, everything that we give to parents is always English and Spanish. Yeah.
I do have a question. In terms of the participation, is it typically the same students from year to year, or what portion are the same students, or is it new students every year?
There's new students, there's, we do have a good amount of students that are returning that obviously grow and go to Davidson or a middle school, but there are a good amount of new students and a lot of siblings or cousins as well. So that's, yeah. I would say it changes year to year, to be honest with you. What we found is if, a student has been with us for a year, but their cousin is going to BACR, they're going to try to be together, at that program. But I think we have a good mixture of returning students and new students as well, and newcomers as well. Yeah, we're always continuing to talk to the school liaisons to let us know if there's anybody who's interested. We're going to try to get them in as fast as possible.
Isn't this the grade, fifth grade, right? The participants, the students?
Which grades are there?
They're kindergarten through fifth grade. We do also accept TK, but we don't have any TK students as of right now.
Let's say any kids coming from the different schools, like for example, you mentioned the Bahia Vista and San Pedro.
Mhm.
Let's say if you were to have other kids that are not going to these schools, will they be allowed to attend?
If we have space and there is nobody from Bahia Vista or San Pedro saying that they're interested at the time, then we will make that exception. The only thing would be how would they get here? So if parents are able to drop off, that's kind of the only, hurdle that gets in the way. But for summer, I think that's something that is more likely, just because usually there's some type, parents are like, oh, we can drop off at least 3 kids there. So for summer, we do make that exception more often than for after school. Yeah, because the kids from San Pedro, they actually get bussed over. The kids from Bahia Vista, they walk them over here after school. Yeah,
That's nice.
take a little walk, yeah.
The funding for the program comes from the school district, so that's why it's tied so closely. So it's a partnership with the YMCA doing the programming, we're providing the space, and the school district helps fund it.
And both
And
San
so-
Pedro and Bahia Vista have residence areas here in the Canal neighborhood. The other schools have students from the Canal that attend them, but specifically Bahia Vista and San Pedro are all neighborhood schools here.
Yeah, we have some kids, that go to Sun Valley, but it makes more sense for them to come here during summertime, just for parents. So we make that, exception and make sure that they get in wherever they can and parents feel comfortable.
Does Venetia Valley have their own summer?
Venetia Valley? I don't know,
Because I know some students that
live here.
take a bus there too, because they have a
To-
dual language.
Yes.
Yeah, Spanish. Okay.
Any other questions? Any questions from our guests about the YMCA program?
I think you're doing a great job.
Not to put you on the
You want our
spot.
hand?
Yes, I'll be at Sun Valley.
Yeah, lots of happy kids.
All right, so the committee will review and then they'll make their decision at our April 2nd meeting. Okay, so you're welcome to stay and watch us a meeting, or you're also able to go home if you'd like to. We appreciate you coming in.
Thank you so much.
You bet.
Thank you.
Okay, we're going to move to item B. It's the Canal Alliance Access U Foundation, Canal FC. It's recommended that the Pickleweed Advisory Committee consider granting the Canal Alliance Canal or Access U Foundation a fee reduction or waiver for use of one Pickleweed Park soccer field on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays for both a summer clinic, July 7th through August 17th, 2025, and a fall season, September 2nd to November 2nd, 2025. The Canal FC program is for Canal youth, has been offered at Pickleweed Park for the past 3 years. The program accepts players ages 6 to 15. Last year, the program partnered with Access U Foundation with reportedly great success. Unfortunately, last fall, the Pickleweed fields were not available due to the Pickleweed Park Enhancement Project. However, Canal FC was able to do their proposed summer program here at Pickleweed. As the committee is aware, there are other longtime youth soccer programs that utilize the only city-owned soccer fields and have had their usage reduced in the past 3 years to accommodate Canal FC program, whose target is specifically Canal youth. The other youth leagues, however, remain flexible and Canal FC's request of only one field allows the second field to be used by the public or other programs. The applicant is requesting a full fee waiver valued at $2,550 for use of one soccer field on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 4 to 5:30 and Sundays from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m., excluding holidays. The proposed activity helps to address the needs of the many families here in the community. This evening, we have Cece and Edwin, and they're here to present their application and answer any questions you might have. Take it away.
Wonderful. Thank you, Steve. I will attempt to share my screen. And before I begin, I did just want to make one amendment. You had said Saturday, but we are requesting Sunday.
Thank you for that correction. Yes, yep, I misread it. I've got it written down.
Okay,
Yep,
perfect. So
yep,
we're
it
aligned
is Sunday.
with
Yep. I'm
Perfect.
sorry, I misspoke.
No problem. Hi, everyone. My name is Cece Della Montana. I've been involved with Canal FC as an organizer behind the scenes since its inception. This is my first time presenting, and I just want to express our gratitude for your support throughout the past 3 years. It's been an integral part of us getting this program off the ground, and we're really proud of how far we've come and feel like we're at really great, solid footing this in our 3rd year now to really move the program forward. And it's my absolute honor to introduce our head of coaching and soccer curriculum, Edwin Tenorio, and I'll let him say a few words, but we feel so fortunate to have Edwin lead this program. He is a former professional soccer player and has his professional soccer teaching credential. And this really allows us to bring the highest quality instruction to local kids. And it means a lot to the community. It means a lot to us to have such a resource and an expert leading our kids in soccer and youth development. And I'll hand it to Edwin to say a few words as well.
Thank you. Thank you for having us. And like Ceci said, we are very happy to the last 3 years work with the community, and especially with those kids who don't have enough income to go at different programs. And we are trying to prevent them the best soccer is possible. And so far we are doing the best job. Thank you for having us again.
So I'll just go through, we have a supplemental presentation to our application that I'll go through and just give a refresher about Canal FC for those that are new or have forgotten what we do. Our vision has stayed the same over the past 3 years, and that's to make soccer more accessible for Canal youth, and by offering high quality training right here in their backyard in walkable distance. And we're removing barriers to play, transportation, high cost, language barriers. Edwin can adapt his program in both English and Spanish, and also registration barriers. So it's not just a matter of us distributing a link for sign up. Marina Palma is our organizer on the ground with a team, and we're hand signing up in a way that's approachable and engaging with the community. So we're on the ground to help encourage signups and recruitment, especially among girls as well, because we've heard the feedback in years prior, and we've been working hard to increase participation among female youth as well. So we have heard feedback throughout the years. So I'll just go through our presentation, which goes a little bit about our program from last year. So I'll start with our proposed 2025 programming. So we'd love to, the summer program was met with a lot of great feedback and success. They liked having the activity in the summer. That was the first time we did a summer program. So we'd like to repeat that in addition to a fall program, if possible, if the fields are ready. So our goal would be for 80 to 100 kids, 6 to 15 years old. We've expanded that window again because now in partnership with Access U, we have a pathway to connect our soccer development into mentoring and guidance for college applications. And you'll see we did a college tour with some of the older kids, and now that's incorporated into our program. So we're starting with the very youngest youth, getting them incorporated into a competitive soccer training program, and then creating, you know, a development program all the way up to college. And that's really, really exciting for us. And that's why we couldn't be happier about the partnership with Access U to bring the program completely full circle. So we plan to have 7 coaches, and this is one of the highest areas of cost, and obviously leads to the quality of the program. And however, we are looking to bring in more volunteer coaches as well, because the more kids we bring in, the more coaches that we need. Obviously Pickleweed Park, and our dates would be July 7th through August 17th, 2 days a week for an hour and a half with games on Sundays. We'd like to continue the program in the fall. So with the goal of 80 to 100 kids, 6 to 15, 7 coaches, same program, and offer an elongated season from September 2nd to November 2nd, where we can start doing inter-league play. And we've reached out to a few other leagues who have expressed interest in coming to Pickleweed and getting that competitive element, which we've been trying to incorporate more over the past 3 years, and I think we'll be able to bring that to fruition for this year. And just going over our last year's participation, it was, like I said, a trial year for us, because can you see the program? Okay, good. It's half covered by my Zoom on my screen, but let me close that. So it was a somewhat modified program because of the field restrictions. So when we found out that we could use it for the summer, we were able to launch new infrastructure under Access U. So a big part of our work early in the summer was building online registration and kind of getting some internal administration up and running. And we launched our clinics with 70 kids, and it just kept growing. It just kept growing through the weeks. So yeah, word got out. So I think we launched with 40, and then the next week it was 45. And just by the end of it, we were up to 70 kids, 6 to 15, with 5 coaches, and you increased to 7 coaches as well. So word got out, and we continued to do on the ground recruitment. It occurred from July 15th to August 28th, and we had that 3-day-a-week schedule. And in total, we had about 42 hours of instruction. And then also last year, we trialed bringing a group of kids to Dominican College and incorporating some of the Access U programming. So we had 33 kids. We had 5 parent chaperones. Participation was from 8 to 14 years old. We did this in October when we didn't have access to the field, so we still wanted to do an activity that engaged the kids. And there's a full day program and immersion, and people loved it. It was really well received. We'll look to repeat these types of experiences and immersions and touch points with Dominican, and expand this where possible through Access U's programming. So here's some of the assets that we created. So like I said, community involvement engagement is pivotal to our success for registering folks. We do have online registration options as well, and sometimes we'll just take that information and manually input it so we have a record. So we built out this last year. All of our promotional materials are in English and Spanish, and we have flyers in addition to posters throughout the community to make sure we get out the word of availability to all those that are interested in participating. The fee is low cost. We've reduced the fees from years prior. So we've netted out that it works out to about $10 a week. And so the summer program is a total of $60, and the fall program is a total of $90. There are discounts for siblings and scholarships available for anyone who wants to participate but cannot afford to do so. So everyone who wants to play is able to play. We do think it's valuable to have a fee associated with it, but we feel that it's appropriate and accessible given the high quality instruction that they receive. And this year we invested in new jerseys, and we will be investing in additional equipment for this year. We used, I think, a lot of your equipment last year, but we will be investing in our own Canal FC equipment this year. And we've done some promotion here of some of the activities. And here you can see some photos of the kids at play, lots of smiling faces. A few more photos here of our play. We'll be investing in new pennies there as well. Those are the colored jerseys that they wear. And this is Marina and registration team doing recruitment for signups. And here's Edwin leading a group there. And then I just have a few photos of, this is the Dominican College visit and day. So people were really excited to partake.
So the kids got a shirt when they went to Dominican? That's
Yeah.
great.
Oh, that's big.
All autographed, that's wonderful.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a fantastic experience. And then here's the group. So I'll pass it to Edwin if there's anything you'd like to add about the soccer programming or vision for this year.
Well, the vision is still giving them a good quality of training and having fun and enjoying the space where they are gonna be.
Do we have any questions?
So,
Let's start with Louise.
when you were at Dominican, did you meet their soccer team or do they have one there? They do.
You saw the men's and women's soccer team, right? On the
Yeah.
visit.
Yeah, we visited their soccer team. I did not participate in that one personally, but they visited the soccer team and there was a whole half day activity with lunch and meeting the team and all.
Liza.
Is that the goal, what the goal for the soccer team? Did you will take like some of the five with some other school or other district, or just? So when we have a team, right, we should develop the team to have a match, to have a fight with some of the other districts.
Yeah,
Is that the
interleague play.
goal for?
So the number one goal for Canal FC is to provide equitable access to youth soccer, to high quality youth soccer that removes barriers that our community, that prevents them from accessing other league play. We have so many recreation opportunities available throughout Marin, but driving to another field is difficult for Canal youth. The high costs, the leagues that require complete parent volunteer run and organization, those all prevent our Canal youth from participating. So the number one vision for Canal FC is providing an area to play, to come together regularly through the highest quality instruction. Within that, competitive play is important, and that's why coaching is led by Edwin and his team of professional coaches. And now that we are up and running and we have consistent registration, we're looking to expand into that interleague play to bring the competitive elements along. And we have a few different leagues that are interested in playing with us this year. And so we think that's something we'll be able to incorporate for the fall season. I'm not sure we'll be able to incorporate interleague play for summer just because there aren't as many summer programs that will be available to us, but it will be a priority for the fall.
That's one thing Omar had said, and then adding on to it with our new field too, but for a lot of these kids, it's gonna be nice for them to host something in their home. Invite people to come here and play, where it seems like we were always, kids from the neighborhood going to other places to play, but we're gonna have a fantastic field and that's something to be proud about.
Absolutely.
My sense is if we can develop a team to have a competition, like you say, with the districts, that will be make the law competition with maybe with the other school in not in this county but another county. So we choose like championship. And then from there, we can go to raise the level to the states for the competition, like, because I know that the soccer kind of like the very popular to some of the Asian countries, like my countries and some Latino countries, they love soccer. So we used to see the champion game between the country, between the from the one district to the other district. So we hope if this one is can develop to be like have a competition game with the
I like your support and vision, and yes, we'll try and go all the way. We certainly have the, the technical capabilities of fielding a competitive team, and we're building the foundation right now. We think we have a really great strategy in place for getting as many people in the community involved as possible. We're going to keep adding these layers of, if we could field a competitive team in the future, that would be great.
like in football or football, baseball, they have a competition between the school. I hope this one will be just like that.
Jenna, you had a question to begin.
So it looked like you had 17 girls and 53 boys.
Let me check the numbers.
Are you looking to increase the number of girls?
Yes, we are always looking to increase our number of girls. So we're looking to enroll at least 30 girls for this year. So last year included 17 girls and 53 boys. And this number has been growing, and we'll be looking to recruit more girls for participation.
So is there one coach to coach the girls and then like they're mixed up, or can they do co-ed?
The way how we divide is we don't have the same ages and the group of the girl, and we combine all of them, and one coach is only for them. All the ages together, but all girls together.
Do you find that most kids that come out at 6 years old already know how to play, or are they kind of beginning?
There are different levels. Some girls play more than others, but all of them are growing with the program. But the level is different between them, even the girls and the boys too.
And then so on Sundays, is it games, or is it, between themselves, or is there other teams coming into play?
The last year was very interesting because the previous year we play matches with other league around here, only with boys. But the last year, only the girls had the opportunity to play with other club or girl, and that was very nice because they do very well.
And just for a reminder too, we still have our Canal Mini Soccer League that we started 14 years ago or so with Marina Palma. And that's a more recreation program for like 6 to 9, and then some seasons 6 to 12. And originally Canal C was going to take on afterwards, but they found that some of the kids at a younger level were ready for more competitive play. But that other one is still quite popular. So somebody getting introductory skills can still go through that mini soccer program and then join that one whenever they want to.
I noticed that there was quite a bit of anecdotal feedback. Do you have any survey or anything more formal that you have gotten feedback from? And on that kind of attendance tracking, do you track attendance? So when 70 sign up, how many attend, for most of the days or?
Great questions. We do track attendance, and we had good participation rates and attendance rates this past year. This last year, we did not do a formal survey. We usually do, at the conclusion of the program, we'll do lunch and a celebration, and then we ask for feedback qualitatively. And then in years past, we've also done a quantitative survey, which had very high participation and lots of feedback and lots of people saying they wanted to be more involved. And can you expand the age range, because we had a more limited age range before. This year, because we have a modified program for summer, we just didn't get a chance to do the quantitative surveying because it wasn't a full fall season. It was more of limited summer clinic program. We will bring back full surveying because it really helps us to improve and adapt and get that feedback. So that will be incorporated this year for both summer and fall. So, and we might even survey now prior to launching our program just to get that feedback. But that's critical, and we will plan to implement that.
I would think it would be awesome to see the attendance rates as well, just to know how many of those kids are able to attend, like if the days and the weekend, as many attend practices as games, or if, weekends, or that would be really interesting to see.
Probably between 90%, right?
Yeah,
That's great. That's awesome.
actually, we have more attendance during the week and then the game.
Yeah. And my other question was, do you have a number of how many have moved on to other teams to play competitively on any of the other leagues?
Yeah. The first year we started to run the program, we were partners with Marine FC.
Yes.
They helped us. And that year, a lot of kids went to play
Mhm.
with them.
Okay.
I had a question. Let's say there's a caterer for kids, let's say they cannot afford this. Would you ever try to give them a breakdown or?
Oh, a fee reduction or absolutely. If someone comes to us and says, we want to play, but we don't have the $90, that's not a problem. They will still be able to
So they
play.
have to speak to you guys or they can come in and they?
That's where
I
the
ask
community.
because sometimes I know kids that are, they say, I went, but they didn't accept me because I hadn't paid. Well, not on your team, but I'm part of.
Well, and that's why we have community members manage sign up, who knows the families, and can have sensitive conversations that you can't have over the internet. And we do the registration in person. Marina and her team have been out registering and can identify folks that might need extra support, both with the registration fee, but also equipment. It doesn't just stop at a registration fee. If they need cleats or if they need any other equipment, we'll make sure they're outfitted and ready to play.
Do you, you have a website, I'm guessing?
Our website is now so we do have a Canal FC website that's in the process of getting updated, and registration just gets forwarded through Access U. So we use their backend platform for registration.
Okay.
So
So
there's-
on that website, do you say anything like, registration fee can be waived, or?
I think there's scholarships
kind of
available
financial aid on that?
I think on the poster, it might have said scholarships available, but that's definitely reinforced through the manual registration, which the majority of signups occur.
So you're no longer partnered with Marin FC.
We are not.
Okay, you're your own Canal FC.
We are our own Canal FC.
With
our vision is to-
Access U.
Yes,
but-
and Access
but-
U is our fiscal agent and nonprofit. Canal FC does not have nonprofit status, so Access U is our fiscal agent and partner to give us nonprofit status. So we are a program of Access U, and it's very complimentary because that gave us the additional layer of feeding into the college opportunities, and so we just think it's a really great match and extends the value of this program beyond high school, which is great.
So rather than moving kids into Marin FC, you'd rather expand the program to have Canal FC fielding its own teams to compete against organizations like Marin FC or
Yeah,
other in those leagues.
and in the
Okay.
future, yes.
Any other questions?
So you have to wear cleats to play, is that right?
We do, yes.
Good. And how is that gonna affect the new field?
It's customer, yes.
Built for that.
Mhm.
If there's no more questions, thank you very much. I really appreciate.
Thank you both, and you both put a lot of your own personal time into this, I
Yeah.
know, and for coming down this evening too, so we appreciate that.
Yeah, we've been very passionate, and
Good.
especially.
Good.
Good.
So when you have a website, can we know the website to look at? the
Yeah, you can go
information?
on right now, canalfc.org, I think,
Oh,
canalfc.org, yeah.
okay. And-
It's predominant, it starts in Spanish, so.
Oh, not in the English? Yeah. Is the website in the,
But if you go to Access You, you'll, in there, I think there's a translate button, but we are in the process of updating Canal FC with new information with Access You. So I'd say check back a little bit.
how so you say accessu.com or I see this?
canalfc.org.
Mhm.
Yep, canalfc.org.
Well, thank you again for coming in. You're welcome to stay.
Thank
You need to
you.
get on with
Thank
your
you.
things, so yeah.
All right,
All right.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
very much.
Pleasure.
I neglected at the beginning of the meeting, we had, when Ginger took the official roll call, I was gonna have us, Sergio is a new member, and I thought we'd all go around and introduce ourselves, and then I hopped right in the meeting and didn't do that. So I'm gonna jump in before we get to item 4, and hopefully we can just go around, just kind of maybe say how long we've been with the advisory committee, what, our passion about it, and who we are, if we could. So Louise, can we start with you, please?
Oh, sure. Louise is my name, and I've been with the committee since maybe 2001 or 2, long time ago. There was a whole other group of people then, obviously. So, and I've lived in the canal for 25 years.
And I'm Steve, I'm the Senior Recreation Supervisor based here at the Community Center. I also oversee the supervisor at the San Rafael Community Center. And I have been with the city for, it'll be 16 years in July. And I
16.
just love the canal community.
My name is Rosa Vasquez. I'm living here in Canal for 21 years. And this is my last year in here, but I hope I'll continue if there is no other one or if they give me the space. I continue.
I'm Janet Sanchez. I think I've been with the committee since 2021.
Sounds about right.
It was during COVID, right?
Yeah.
I've lived in the canal for 34 years. And pretty much attended Via Vista and also benefited from Pickleweed.
I'm Sergio Campos, and I moved to Marin about 4 years ago, so new to Marin, and now my wife and our 1-year-old son live in Terra Linda, and I was on a transportation committee in Stanislaus County, and was looking for a committee to join in Marin, and found this one, and so glad to be here.
So did you live in Modesto?
Yes.
Huh.
I've been in the Bay Area for like 10 years, but during COVID, I was remote, so I went back. I grew up in Modesto, so I went back to Modesto for a couple of years and got involved with that committee. I came back once things started opening up again.
I grew up there too.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Hi, my name is Mi Yung Nguyen, and people can call me Mai for short. And I'm here, I've been here for more than 10 years in the Marin County, and I just participated with the Pickleweed, the committees only last year. So I'm kind of new. And then also I am the member of the political accountability committee. But it's new too. It's I just joined the last year together with this.
I'm Kate Sprague, and we've lived in the canal for, I think, almost 10 years now. I think I've been on the committee about as long as Janet. I think we joined at the
We
same
joined
time.
That's right.
During remote meetings. And I joined because I wanted to know more about what happens here in the neighborhood at this great resource.
And I'm Andre Pasternak. I am on the Parks and Rec Commission for the city, and I am the Pickleweed liaison to the Parks and Rec Commission, so I can come to these meetings and go back what was said there, and vice versa. I also live in Terra Linda and heavily involved with the aquatics program at the Terra Linda pools. If you ever want to talk about swim, I'm your guy.
Thank you, everybody. I'm glad you're all here. Okay, so we'll get back to the agenda and item 4. Review proposed 2025 Pickweed Advisory Committee meetings dates. Did everybody have a chance to see the schedule, and did anybody have any questions? Or I tried to double check beforehand so that he didn't hit school breaks, and I did not see any conflicts that were glaring.
It's the last page.
Yeah, the last page.
Very last page.
Yeah.
I think I saw it on I saw it on the last time,
There it is.
when you did it on the last. meeting.
Uh-huh.
Draft.
The very last,
Before this one.
no, the very last meeting.
All the way down.
Are we able to attend these during Zoom, you know?
Or
Are we
attend during
able
Zoom?
to attend
It's
during-
supposed, the city says we have to be in person. So if the audience can do that, but now they've shut it off so that audience on
That's all.
Zoom can't make a comment.
Oh,
So
okay.
it's only interactions here, and that's with all the public meetings with the city now. So they're all in person, but and then they're recorded too, so you can go anytime on the website and see past meetings. So, yeah.
It's good.
Okay, if nobody has any suggested changes, can I have a motion and a second, please, to adopt the schedule for this year?
My motion to adopt the 2025 meeting dates.
Janet? Second, Rosa seconds. And Jinder, can we have a vote, please?
All right, Sergio Campos,
Yes.
Mai Dong Nguyen,
Yes.
Darlene Ruiz is absent, Kate Sprague,
Yes.
Janet Sanchez,
Yes.
Rosa Vasquez,
Yes.
Luis Yost,
Yes.
Motion passed. Thank you. Okay, we'll go on to item 5, and this is committee reports, brief updates on any meetings or community events attended by committee members. And maybe we'll just start again with Louise and work our way around the table. Louise, do you have anything to report? No pressure if you don't.
No pressure. Okay. Gosh, all I've done is see movies. That's it. And I highly recommend the Raphael Theater downtown. If you have not been there, check it out.
Which one?
Raphael Theater
Yeah.
on 4th Street.
What movie you see?
Oh, I've seen many movies. But I recommend the Bob Dylan one that just came out about, 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks. Very good.
Rosa.
Normally when I know there's something going on at the theater, because you can see the big line,
Yeah.
taking the cars going by Pink Owl often. So you can see something interesting is happening.
Oh, that's for the movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, downtown. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I haven't been to not a lot of meetings. I missed the Boston Canal meeting this month because I had other stuff to do. So the only one that I attended was when the Canal Alliance were having the what was it, when they were giving I forgot the name. Like if you needed a help with
Taxes?
not taxes, like when you go, I forgot the word, like when you go, let's say you go there and somebody is participate.
Oh, CPR?
CPR.
Okay.
I forgot.
Ah,
Okay.
I took a basic because I thought it was the profound one, that it takes a while, many hours to do the big one.
Okay.
So I did the basic, Yeah, it was kind of fun.
I'm glad you're sitting next to me, just in case.
No, but the good part is that when they made us practice, my person was dying because the light wasn't coming on.
Oh, no.
He said you have to go harder, harder. And then I did it the right way, but anyways, I had fun. That's the only meeting that I
How
had.
long for the baby?
It only, we were only there for 2 hours and a half.
No, good to know.
No, because they had other ones. They showed us how, let's say if someone is bleeding,
Like
someone
basic
is
first
bleeding.
aid.
Oh, okay.
Let's say from their knee, where to put all the, how to stop it in and then how to put that thing so that you can stop the
Bleeding.
bleeding.
And you still have,
They still
you
talking.
have a like certificate?
They give us one,
Ah,
but I have to practice more.
I have a long time ago when I were in the school, they offer that. That's not valid now.
Hmm.
I wanted something much more for fun, but they only gave us the basic ones. And then if someone was needed the narco,
Narcan.
or that's
Narcan.
Narcan, and they give us the stuff. So there was a small 2 hours and a half training, and they showed us a bit of it.
Jen,
I have not attended any.
That's fine. Sergio, any updates?
Nothing for me.
Mine?
I don't have one, but I want to invite everybody come to my community New Year's in Novato Temples. There, I think 100 Kingston Avenue. We still celebrate for New Year.
Oh, still.
So I invite everybody can come there. Just join some of the activity there, and we have food there.
What day did you have it?
On Sunday, sorry.
Or you're still continuing?
Yeah, continue because New Year just last week, so we continue maybe next weekend, next Sunday. I mean, next coming Sunday, we still celebrate.
Great. That's good. There's a lot of attendees, the people that go to
We have
the
we have some activity where we listen the lectures from the monk, and sometimes we have a yoga, like the teacher for the yoga teaching, and then after that we have a karaoke and food. So everybody can come this coming Sunday. We have every Sunday ceremony there, but then the next coming Sunday maybe special for the New Year. And you will see the different outfit, like the is a dress for the New Year. So you see different culture dressing for the New Year.
Thank you. Kate,
We have been excited to use the gym here for kids' activities. We don't always get to, like you said, people don't always come here for that, but indoor soccer and basketball, and hosted some open gyms as well through the CYO, the Catholic Youth Organization, St. Raphael's local chapter here. So that's been fun to just walk down instead of figure out where to go. I'm interested in learning more about the library measure and community center measure and how that might impact here, or what work will be done if that's still closing here or not for work. The connector, I know there was a meeting about the connector, the 580 connector that's now being proposed to come here instead of at all through Larkspur, and I remain very confused as to how that will possibly be better than going through Larkspur at all. And I find it really frustrating that the meetings are so poorly advertised and there is so little notice provided about them and so little involvement from us in the community. No one I know has been able to attend the meetings, and they're saying it's going to be so great for our neighborhood for it all to come through here, and I just don't understand it. So I'm really frustrated with the city on not helping us be more involved in that process. I did attend the East Santa Fe parking meeting. Thank you, Steve, for letting us know about that. I still am not getting emails or things about those, even though I've signed up with the city. So that is another frustration that I'll be following up on again. But I was able to attend and hear about the residential permit parking program proposal that is now on the table for Bret Harte neighborhoods and our neighborhood here. Lots of really interesting information. There is a current survey that we should all be taking. So it's available. I think I have a website somewhere on where to find that. Or maybe you've seen it somewhere else to take. Yeah, cityofsanrafael.org parking-permit-program. Rolls right off the tongue. But they have QR codes and things around, so please take the survey if you're able to. It will be hard to take it, however, and respond very well if you haven't seen the presentation, because there's a lot of details about the permit program that it asks about that are, so what I would say overall, the feedback in the meeting was from people in the Spinnaker and Bay Point neighborhoods, at least who attended the meeting, they are not very happy about the proposal of the permit program. I am concerned because they bring up the parking lot here as something that they want to turn into overnight parking. And from what I've seen, from 5 p.m. on is the most challenging time to get a parking spot here, plus on the weekend, and that's when they want to use this as community parking. So as I have stated in the past, I remain concerned that there's no prioritizing of making this community center available to people in the wider community. So when people come from other neighborhoods, it is extremely challenging to like the community center if your first exposure to it is, I couldn't find anywhere to park, I was late for my kid, I couldn't see my child play the basketball game or whatever it is. And so turning this over to community parking is frustrating to me. The good news of the parking permit program is that they would add an additional enforcement officer and vehicle. So they propose to be continuing enforcement. I do feel like we've seen a little bit more enforcement, although still not at the prime hours in the evening when the most pedestrians are out and about and the parking is the worst. And I feel like that's the most dangerous time, especially when it's dark in the winter. So I understand there are a lot of needs and competing things to balance, but it doesn't feel like we're there yet. So maybe the permit will be a good thing to try to see where we can get. I think the city council is supposed to discuss it at their March meeting. So if you are able, the presentation I believe is online. I know the slides are, I think the whole presentation, the recording is also because it was a city meeting. So I would encourage you, if you're able to watch that presentation and learn more about it, and then perhaps
Is that website online?
yeah, it's through the city of Santa Fe. So I think if you go to the cityofsantafe.org, then you can go to parking services. And I think it's been a little hard to find for me in the past, but I'm pretty sure that's where I was able to find it.
I will tomorrow try to send a link to the video and the survey that you all can follow up on.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's very important.
I think in terms, and I will say, I think the permit program in terms of the they call it zone 1, they call it the Canal neighborhood versus they have a different name. I think they call it Spinnaker over here or something. Like that zone would be improved by the permit program, I think, because they would really limit the number of permits to 1 per household. However, that only impacts things like overnight parking, and it still is dependent on enforcement. So we'll see. But I'm glad I appreciate that they're trying to move forward in some way.
But I cannot think it's like here at 8 o'clock. You cannot get out.
You can't. No.
It's heavy traffic.
Yeah.
After 3:30 or 4,
Again, the evening again.
Yeah, but in the morning, it's true. Like there's so many compounding factors that really impact what life is like here when you're trying to get to work or trying to get home from work. And
so it's in the morning and in the evening, and imagine all those people trying to commute.
Yeah.
It'll be terrible.
Exactly.
And then is here I see that they have a construction for something used in the office or more.
Yeah, so it's part of the Pickleweed Park Enhancement Project, so we will have more parking spots than an outside basketball court.
Oh, so we build more the parking lot? over
We
there?
will have a larger parking lot with about 18 more spots.
But I think I see the sign like job sign, so it's mean like there's a new office or new facilities in here for a job.
No, it might be a job site, meaning it's a work site, construction site, maybe.
Oh.
Is that what it
Oh,
might be? There won't be any new buildings
okay.
other than what's already here. You know, we're gonna have
Okay.
some remodels and all that.
That's good, because the more building in here, the more, need more the parking for
Correct.
the people come here.
Yeah.
So it's very, very hard to find a parking around here. For many years.
Yep.
That's just the beginning. Wait until all these kids are growing up.
Right, right.
No more space.
Andre, do you have any updates for us?
Well, around the library, we're gonna get a presentation, next meeting about where that sits, and if the timing works out, I'll report back, from that. I think there's a lot of unknowns still, so we'll see how much.
Is that the
we
new
learn.
library, the already
The
things?
proposal for the Santa Fe Community Center and new library.
The downtown one.
Is it already been there or?
No, it's a whole new proposal to build a whole new facility.
It's a new library, but.
Because I see the one in the North Gate.
Those are all the temporary, yeah, so there's a
Okay.
temporary library in Northgate,
Yeah,
and then there's a temporary library,
Fourth Street.
downtown.
They opened one on 4th Street.
Yeah,
Yes,
Right
that's
across
great.
by where Bank of America.
Yeah,
is.
that's right.
Yeah.
I've been there a few times.
Oh.
But this is a brand new facility that they're looking at, that we all voted for, so. Let's see how that goes. Do you know if there's gonna be follow-ups on the 580 connector meeting? 'Cause I missed
Well,
that also.
I never get noticed until like the day before the meeting usually is when finally something pops up somewhere. So I haven't seen anything. I think it's under environmental review right now. So the next thing will be some sort of presentation about the environmental impact report, I think.
Is it with Tom?
With like Transportation Authority of Marin?
No, with Tom. Something I heard that the last time they were doing it with Tom.
They,
Tom Alpines?
I don't know. I mean, I think this is now through like it's like a project that is somehow governmentally funded, not just the city of San Rafael, because it's federal funding that was allocated for improving the connection from 101 to 580.
Remember 10 years ago, they had a big meeting, you know, they had a huge community
Yeah.
meeting.
Yeah.
And Caltrans led it, you know, but I agree with you. I've heard a few things, but it's not clear.
No, and I was surprised because the Canal Alliance spoke in favor of it, which,
Really?
yeah. Because there's potentially other funding for things like workforce support, but I still don't see how it would benefit the neighborhood to have that many more cars coming through. So I'm interested in more discussion around it, so I can be sure that I understand. how.
There's a bridge that's gonna.
Oh,
be-
yeah, yeah. Yes, I'm actually really excited that they're gonna study that. I can't believe how much the study costs for the, what do they call it? The Canal to 3rd Street Connector Bridge study. So it's $1.5 million allocated to study it. But that would be really awesome if we could get directly over to the shopping center there and the high school. I mean,
Might cut down her traffic in the morning.
yeah,
Oh, I think-
absolutely.
Yeah, and it's been in the grand waterway plan for years, but
Years and years. They talked about this 20 years
Right.
ago.
Yeah, it's been a while.
it's gonna have to be really tall for the sailboats to go
Right,
under.
that's-
And then ADA, you need to have the right slope,
Oh
so
my
it's gonna be a
gosh.
wider ramp for them.
So how do
So
you,
that's why the study's only.
Imagine
The
what the bridge will
project,
cost.
But it would be,
Oh my
I think it'd be a nice, safe alternative for a lot of people.
Be great.
Yeah,
Send
bikes,
Kids over to
walk.
Trader Joe's or something.
Right.
high
Amazing.
school?
Yeah,
High school's big.
Yeah, because normally when you go in the bus, sometimes way back now they put more buses. Before, one time I was right at the front, if the door opened, I would fly out. But I didn't have
So
that
many
any more
people,
options
yeah.
because if that one left me, I would be late.
Wow.
All right, Andre, we interrupted you. You have
No,
anything else?
that's it. I mean, yeah, no, we had a great presentation at the last meeting, the entire Parks and Rec world came out to present to us and give the state of the state.
Good.
So,
Okay, if there's no other questions, there's no comment for public comments, so we'll skip over that and we'll move over to staff comments number 6. I've got a few highlights since we last met September 11th. That was quite a while ago. We had a very successful Dia de los Muertos celebration on November 2nd. Thank you, Louise, who welcomed everybody with her steel pans in the lobby. That was great. We held the official groundbreaking for the Pickleweed Park Enhancement Project on September 27th with Mayor Kate and Council Member Lawrence Galati, city staff members, and some of the project design and construction teams were there. They've been making good progress, although this week they've been delayed due to the heavy rains. We had a lake out there on yesterday, but it drained pretty well by today. They've done a lot of the excavation. They've got the field area pretty level. They've already done some curbing out where the parking lot and the basketball court are going to be. Last week they started removing the old pad where the playground is going to be extended. So they're making good progress. We're saying summertime. We're opening a little bit sooner, summertime, so that our soccer programs can be out there and other programs too. But we're excited. So hopefully we get rain because we need it, but not too much rain so they can keep on task there. The mural, as you might have seen coming in, is completed. We had sent an invite for all of you, but December 17th, they had a little groundbreaking on that, or dedication on that one. On December 19th, Councilmember Mary Beth Bushy joined us to award 5 black belts and 7 brown belts to members of our Canal Karate program. And then parents and dignitaries were all given a demonstration by the entire class. So that was kind of special before the holidays. PG&E has completed their tower replacement before the end of last year. If you haven't seen it, it's huge out there and their footprint is just enormous. But I think the last one was over 100 years old, so that was due to last for quite a while because it's pretty sturdy looking. The sinks in both of the center's restrooms were replaced during the holidays, during the closure, which is nice. And we've added hand dryers too, to help cut down on papers in there. It's kind of a modern design, but it's very, very functional. So we're pleased with that. And that was done over the holidays, as well as the partition between meeting rooms 4 and 5, which have not been fully functioning for years and has been on the CIP list, but finally that was done also over the holidays. So we're happy to get those things done. Staff performed some deep cleaning, cleaning the carpets, waxing the floors, things that we can't do when we're open during the holiday closure. As Andre just mentioned, the entire recreation staff did basically a program report. It was the first time we'd all come together. Typically, we all separate and give our own respective reports, but we kind of compiled all the different programs that we do at all the different centers and presented that to the Park and Recreation Commission. That was on January 16th. And then coming up at their April 17th meeting, we're on their agenda for the annual report for the Pickleweed Advisory Committee. And I'll remind everybody at our April meeting, but that's a great one that if everybody's available, we go over to the Santa Fe Community Center on B Street and we go and watch their meeting. But it's a great chance for us to kind of interact with the commission and this committee too. And then I'll put together kind of a report on everything that we did last year as far as co-sponsoring the programs and some of the presentations that we had. So more information on that. As Kate was saying, there was that virtual parking meeting. I very much appreciate your perspective. It's a very tricky situation. We've got a lot of different interests between Bay Point and Spinnaker have their thoughts, what they're calling now the canal neighborhood. We've got ideas. There's the business part of it. And, I wear many hats. I mean, this is my focus here, but I'm also on the city team. So I'm careful and I understand the whole situation. So, starting 10, 12 years ago, we had to be flexible and allow public parking in here, but it's been at a detriment to our programming and our rentals. And we've lost rentals, our big rentals, because we can't guarantee parking. I did get the chance a month or two ago to meet with the consultant because I didn't feel we were being, so there were some compromises. And then I also expressed some concerns following that meeting. our lot does get full and people park out on the street. And it's not where, I think in my opinion, they were saying that events, so if we have a rental, we could maybe give a parking pass to. Okay, that's fine, but majority of our things are people coming to our new fields. We've got other teams. We could have the gym going at the same time. We have people going to the library. And there's no way we can give them passes ahead of time. And so the parking proposal that we saw was going to open up parking right on Canal Street, just in front of the center, not through the whole canal, right here, from like till 3 in the afternoon. But our prime time, as I've always said, is from 4 until 10 at night and Saturdays and Sundays that we have a hard time. Now, we need to compromise. I don't want to be a bully and say, we need to be respectful of everybody's opinion. But I did talk, and there is support for changing that street parking there until 10 o'clock. So 2-hour zone until 10 o'clock at night, which would be helpful. It's still going to be we could fill that up just with all of our stuff here. And this program it's a step at providing city council approves it, and I think it can always be changed, and they need to try something because, it's frustrating for residents to park and, I can't imagine that people in the canal, as they're calling it, that are parking on Bay Point wouldn't much rather park in front of their own apartments or houses too. And it's it's not a convenience to park over there. So it's a very complicated issue. So please, I will forward you those links, but express your thoughts on that too.
There's been problems since I've been here, so.
Sure.
I remember way back 21 years back, you could park anywhere. There was enough space.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, according to their calculations, if you include all of Spinnaker and Bay Point and all the parking over by the gardens and things, there are enough spots for all of the cars in the neighborhoods.
That's hard to believe.
Essentially every side, like everywhere from Bellum and Kerner this way.
But there just needs to be incentives to park a little farther away.
Yeah.
And that's where this permit, in theory, will help you get it. It's less expensive for the permit to park out there, or if it's your second vehicle.
And they're talking about
You can do
rideshare
that.
programs and things. If you watch it and you have questions, like I tried to take good notes, I'm happy to share if something doesn't make sense based on the presentation.
I mean,
And part of this proposal is having extra enforcement, which they haven't added
Right.
yet, but will have to be during the nighttime and evenings and.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went on next door, I think the night after. And it's a lot
It blew up a bit.
About
a
strong
lot of
opinions,
angry
a
people.
lot of
Yeah.
strong opinions.
Is there different parking rules in the Spinnaker?
Bay
Park.
Point, not
Great Point for,
like
yeah,
proposed or currently.
currently.
I think it's the same as the other kind of
Okay.
residential canal area. There's different limits in the business area, which is like, what is that? Canal and Medway, that section there has slightly different daytime hours to try to help. Otherwise, it's 24 hour.
Right. Yeah, to help close the business. Customers can get in and out too. Yeah, and the proposal is for equity would be the same, that somebody parking what they're calling the canal and Bay Point, you could park in either one of those with the permits. Is what the proposal currently is.
I would say there's like Cardinals, they have a lot of space in, wouldn't they?
Well, that's part of the plan. It's trying to get private businesses and the school. They did that trial the summer ago at the school where people could buy a permit to park there. So it's trying to get more resources like that where they would have to go and they'd have to be out by 6 in the morning. But it's a possibility.
Instead of parking, people go all the way to Home Depot.
Oh, yeah, that's so far. Yeah. Pickleweed Library was mentioned, so they are moving forward with plans. We had the presentation at our meeting at September 11th. That is still progressing. They're hoping to start this summer. They're timing it to make sure that the downtown library, that they're back to the Carnegie building, because they don't want to have two closed at one time. So they're expected, unless there's some major delays, that sometime early next summer they'll go, and then that's when the Pickleweed Library will go. We've been talking about possibly having, what was it, you know, those Amazon lockers, they
Oh,
have
yeah.
something like that where they can come and put something in our lobby and then people can pick up books from our lobby. And then they, as they have been for years, the library does programming in our other rooms too. So they can still do some programming, have a presence here while
So
it's
this
closed
really-
for construction. They're remodeling the
Oh,
inside.
remodeling,
Yeah. So the footprint will stay the same, but they're trying to make more efficient use. And the computer lab is going to turn into the children's section of the library.
Computer lab will move on.
The computer lab, we haven't, they will still have laptops, you know, Chromebooks that people can borrow, but we haven't used the formal, there's not as much of a demand for computer classes like there were back when I first started. And s- Yeah, and now we don't have to be wired, so we can even borrow the Chromebooks and come into here and teach a class if we need to do
And all
that.
kids get them at school. not
Yeah,
just
and then
really-
adults too, for, if they need to get them, we can check them out.
For free, they go?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Our recreational drop-in pickleball program, which is held in the gymnasium, has picked up now that the rains have arrived. There's always
Yeah.
a demand for it, but when it's sunny, and I don't blame them, I'd rather be outside too, but we set it up and nobody shows. But on yesterday, we had 32 players on our makeshift 3 courts. So it was, yep,
Pickleball,
Yeah.
pickleweed.
so it was good. And then I just want to touch really quickly about, just kind of remind people about the philosophy behind our co-sponsorship. We're really, in doing this, we're helping providers offer the needed low or no cost programs to the community. But some city departments are fully covered, but the recreation department is supposed to be fund generating. We're supposed to cover our expenses. So we are the only community center that has the advisory committee to discount the rates that are already half of what they are at the other community centers. But every once in a while, we'll have a program that comes, well, we have several that pay our regular rate for a room, and that's great. That gives us revenue to help sustain our operations. If somebody expresses, hey, I can't afford it, those are the co-sponsorships we get. But I know some members of the committee have talked to other groups that are here saying, oh, you should go ask for a co-sponsorship. And they're, no, we have a full budget for it. They're happy to pay because they're contributing to the center and they love being here too. So we do have a mix and we do have quite a few programs that pay, you know, our discounted rate, but they're the price here. So that's kind of the importance of what we do. And I want to thank everybody too for RSVPing to these meetings because it's good, especially when we have guests. If we don't know we have a quorum, then it's hard to send them home. So anybody have any questions on anything I covered? No? All right. Well,
So thank you for sending all the messages on when you invited us to,
Yeah.
when they were doing the,
oh, the mural?
Yeah.
I couldn't come, but thank you for
Yeah.
sending the.
Yeah. Sometimes these things are right when everybody's working, so it's hard, and I know that the time and date changed, one, because of the weather, and two, it's trying to, you know, we had some tribal leaders coming, and so it's hard finding that perfect time for everything, but it looks like good. So our next meeting is gonna be April 2nd. It'll be here, and the time is now 8:27. We will adjourn, and Jinder, thank you very much for pinch hitting for Becky tonight. And we can turn off the recording. Thank you and have a good night.
Good night, thanks.